The locals call it the Hollow. No one who goes there after dark ever returns the same. Some don't return at all. And those who do come back with stories that sound like madness. But I know the truth now. I've seen what's in the Hollow. Emma was a park ranger with 10 years' experience who had spent years chasing stories that others dismissed as superstition. On December 23, 2021, she arrived at an underground bunker in Ukraine. She had heard the whispers, the legends that locals spoke of in hushed tones after dark. She didn't believe them. Not at first. But she was about to learn that some stories are rooted in truth far darker than fiction. The place was exactly as described in the old reports. Concrete walls, rusted metal, Cold War-era construction. The air felt wrong somehow, heavy with a silence that seemed almost deliberate. Emma had investigated dozens of supposedly haunted locations before. Every single one had a rational explanation. Every single one, until now. She took out her equipment and began documenting everything. The temperature readings. The electromagnetic fields. The ambient sounds. What she captured that day would haunt her for the rest of her life. It started with small things. Things that could almost be dismissed as coincidence. A sound that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. A shadow that moved just at the edge of her vision. A feeling of being watched, studied, catalogued. Emma tried to rationalize it. Old buildings settle. Pipes creak. Light plays tricks. But deep down, she knew. This was different. This was intelligent. She found the records later. Documents that had been carefully hidden, almost as if someone wanted them forgotten. The history of an underground bunker was stained with incidents going back decades. Visitors who experienced the same phenomena. Some left shaken. Some left changed. Some never left at all. The pattern was unmistakable once you knew what to look for. And Emma was starting to see the pattern clearly. The sound came first. A noise that shouldn't exist, like reality itself, was tearing at the seams. Emma turned toward the source, and that's when she saw the sleep paralysis demon. An old hag that sits on your chest, feeds on fear. Time seemed to stop. Crushes chest. She tried to run, but her legs wouldn't obey. She tried to scream, but no sound came out. All she could do was watch as the thing that would destroy her life moved closer. What followed was 3 days of absolute terror. The sleep paralysis demon didn't just appear once. It kept coming back. Each encounter more intense than the last. Crushes chest. Whispers in dead languages. Shows you your death. Emma tried everything to escape. She barricaded her doors and windows. She covered every reflective surface. She tried to drive away, but she always found her way back to an underground bunker, as if the place itself refused to let her leave. She researched everything she could find about the sleep paralysis demon. The origins. Documented since medieval times across all cultures. The patterns of behavior. The methods of survival. She learned about the movement breaks the spell, and she clung to that knowledge like a lifeline. But knowing a weakness isn't the same as being able to exploit it. Especially when you're running on no sleep, when every shadow makes you jump, when you can't trust your own senses anymore. On the third night, it came for her directly. No more games. No more waiting. The final confrontation. An old hag that sits on your chest, feeds on fear stood before her, and she understood then that some things don't hunt for food or territory. They hunt because they enjoy it. Because they've been doing it for centuries, and they have all the time in the world. Emma made a choice in that moment. A choice between survival and humanity. A choice that she would have to live with for the rest of her life. The sun rose on the fourth day to find Emma stumbling out of an underground bunker, barely conscious, clutching the one thing that had kept her alive. She had discovered it by accident, in the desperate final hours of that third night. The one thing that could keep the sleep paralysis demon at bay. But she also discovered that she couldn't destroy it. No one could. Some things are too old, too powerful, too fundamentally wrong to be killed. Emma escaped, but she didn't leave unchanged. The doctors called it trauma. PTSD. Hallucinations brought on by extreme stress. They prescribed medication and therapy. They wrote papers about her case. But Emma knew the truth. The sleep paralysis demon was still out there. Still waiting. Still watching. Mark's victims. The bond had been formed in those 3 days of terror, and bonds like that don't break easily. It's been years now. Emma moved to a different state, changed her name, tried to build a new life. But she still sees the sleep paralysis demon in every shadow. In every mirror. In every moment of darkness. The doctors say it's a manifestation of trauma. But Emma knows better. Because sometimes, late at night, when the world is quiet and still, she can hear the sleep paralysis demon whispering. Calling her name. And she knows, with absolute certainty, that the sleep paralysis demon is coming back to finish what it started. To this day, the location remains abandoned. The property was never sold. The government never investigated. But people still go missing there. Every year. And if you find yourself nearby, remember this story. And whatever you do, don't look behind you.